excited.
Hello, everybody. Welcome out to the continuing Dice Tower Top 100. My name is Chris Yee. We're going to Camilla next.
Why? That's not the way the circle works.
Wait, oh no, we're going to Joey next.
Joey Evans!
Camilla, you spoiled it for me, though. Stole my thunder.
You said both names, by the way, before you went around.
Yeah.
We're going to Camilla. No, we're going to Joey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I am the big spoiler.
Chris, the spoiler of fun.
My number 73 is...
You spoiled next episode. I like that.
All right.
down.
Well, if you are joining us earlier today, we did our first 10. We're going to continue doing 10 more today. We're doing 2 sessions again next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
And
stoked.
then we're going to, I think, just normal once a week.
Every Thursday after that. I think we stay in the same afternoon slot after that, right?
Yeah.
Thursday at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Until we finish.
But yes,
Till we're done.
As we said earlier this morning, or if you're just joining for the first time, Dice Tower East is our next upcoming event.
Yes, and we're excited. We're going to have events this year. We have a lot going on. We're going into the new Palms Ballroom, so it's a bigger ballroom. If you're already coming, we start our weekly updates tomorrow, so start checking your email for that.
Oh, snap.
We're going to be giving you all the information and details you need. So if you're not coming, sign up. TabletopEvents.com.
There's still time.
Tabletop.events.
No matter how many times we say sign up, people are like waiting, and then at the end they're like, "What? It's sold out?"
Wait, it's sold
every
out?
year.
And then you
It's
get an
like,
email from me like, yeah.
Should have
That's
known.
I've gotten many of those emails.
Yeah.
It
actually
feels bad every time.
Her email looks like
Every
that.
time.
Somehow text looks like that. it's crazy to put that into words. But she does it.
Oh, man. I don't have as many new games on this particular block.
I was
of lists
checking
as
that
last
too.
time.
I
Yeah.
have no new games on this block. In fact, nope. I'll say that at the end.
Okay.
Well, you've none? All right, I've got a couple.
Wow.
Not as many.
Hold up, this ain't
Okay.
right. Did I?
You're the wrong list.
Did I make my list? Nah. What am I looking at?
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
This is a lot. It's only 10 games. This
Oh
list.
shoot! Hold up, I did that wrong.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I do have a new one this time. I have a new one this time. I was
Wow.
looking at the wrong column.
I'm glad we figured this out.
That was very.
Well, thanks for joining us this
Welcome to the
time.
roller coaster.
All right, let's get it kicked
All right.
off with number 90. Let's see who's going to greet us this time.
This is Preston live on the Pinball Mafia Twitch live stream. You're watching the Dice Tower Top 100, number 90.
I want to go to his house so bad.
Yeah.
Do you see those pinball machines?
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah.
You know, if he had like a welding in his garage, like a welding setup like the other guy in his garage, that would be like my dream home.
Welding and pinball?
Yeah.
You can't put those two
Pinball in the day,
close
welding
together.
at night. Boom.
What's the matter with you?
Why? Why can't I? I can.
I have no idea.
I believe I've seen the emails.
This is true.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. My number 90 is a new one on the list. So this is a space game, a 4X space game, similar to Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, and this is Last Light. Last Light is, I forgot who the designer is, but Last Light it's a 4X style game, similar to Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea, but the whole thing is the board rotates, and I think one of my favorite things on this is the fact that it is quick, and it's all simultaneous players and all that. But at the end, there always seems to be this battle royale somewhere on the board, even if it doesn't matter. Even if,
I can.
even if there's no way the person involved can win, it's kind of like, let's just throw a grenade in the room and shut the door and see what happens, you know? And I love games that end like that, especially, like Here's Land Air Sea has that too, where you enter that big epic battle or whatever. But it's such a long game. This one, it's that great ending of an hour game that you still get that feeling.
It doesn't drag it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one that I really enjoy. I love hitting the table, and it plays up to 8. It actually plays it really well.
My favorite is when everyone's bum rushing right for the central star because they know the board's about to rotate and like someone's walking away with 6 light.
Right.
Yeah, and I will tell you the spatial awareness, I don't plan ahead as well as I think I do.
As soon as you said the sentence, it said the word spatial awareness. I was like, I know where this is going.
I know, because I'm like, okay, it's going to be here next time, and then somehow things happen. I'm like, misjudged that. Because I even see like 5 ships over here, like, it's about to happen. I'm like, yeah, over here. and then it happens, and I'm like, oh, they were right. So, yeah, I do love this one. That's Last Light, my number 90.
Very nice. My number 90 is a nature game. It is Endangered. It is.
What is it,
You
though?
are playing as conservationists who are out saving the animals. And I really like that the puzzle and tension that this brings. It really has a good job of feeling the pressure of trying to lobby to get the laws and stuff behind you so that you can do the preservation, but at the same time, moving the animals around so that they're still procreating and creating new as the land is destroying. So it's a really good balance of these things that you have to do, as well as at the same time, you're having to manage these actions with your dice. So it has this high-level cooperation where I need to take this action, but the only die I have left is a really high number. So if I go there, it means the person after me can't take that action, most likely. So you really have this good just balance and cooperation between each other that you have to have in order to be successful with it. And it's about saving animals, and it just makes me happy in my heart. So.
And it's
I
such
like
a
it.
good cover.
That's
that cover
the
is
thing.
really
I have never
is.
played this, but every time I see the cover, I'm like, oof, I want to play that.
It
That's
really is, yeah.
such a good cover.
And I really think that the different animals play differently too. In the base game here, it comes with the otters and tigers, I want to say, but then they
better
have.
come with the tiger.
Oh
with the
yeah,
tiger,
okay, yeah, with the cover. But then they also have the panda expansion, and they just have like all these expansions, and then the new big
Memphis.
expansion came with a bunch as well. So I really like that they feel unique, similar to what we were talking about in the game before, where when a game can manage to make the hand you're playing, if you're playing a character, feel like that personality.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
you feel like you're playing and saving that animal with the way they're responding in this. So yeah, really enjoy Endangered. That's my number 90.
From one striking cover to another, that's a bold-faced lie. Mine's an abomination. My number
Again?
90
I
is...
thought we got this out of the way.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many more. My number 90 is called Aladdin's Dragons. This is a game from 1909 or 2000, I think, or 99 or 2000.
That was 2000?
It's
Makes sense. That's Rio Grande.
It's Rio Grande, first of all.
Yeah.
Board games have come a long way in the last quarter century. I mean, that used to be an acceptable box cover, right? That used to be an acceptable board. But what's funny is this game...
I don't hate the board as much as the cover, actually.
I can't tell the difference.
Slap that quote on the box.
Yeah.
So this is it's like a worker placement style of bidding. You put face down numbers in different areas, and you want to have the most there. The bottom of the board is where you get these different gems and diamonds and stuff. As you go up, that's where you pay them to get victory points and such, right? I'm sure Mike is on fire.
She seems ashamed to be on that cover. As she should. Smart woman there.
But the whole idea of this is that you're trying to collect these gems and then pay them later. But high values are good in some ways, but also bad in other ways. It's a great balancing. But
So are you paying the dragons?
you're kind of, I think you're taking from the dragons, like they just shed crystals, or they as they dig their caves, they just have a bunch of rubies come through. They don't care about it. They're just trying to dig a home. So you're just trying to collect all these gems from the dragons, and then you want to trade them up high. And so, collect on the bottom, special powers in the middle, trade them for points on top. It's a really clean, good system. Similar, actually, I think that Fractured Sky is very much inspired by this game.
Okay, I was thinking, did they announce that this
Really?
is being remade, or?
It was remade a year or two ago.
Okay, is that okay? Maybe
Yeah,
that's what I'm
in a
thinking.
very re-update. To the
Okay.
point I actually kind of prefer this one, because if it's going to look ugly, I'd rather it look old ugly than modern but ugly, if that makes sense. At least they were doing what
At
they
least you-
could at that
Shots
time.
fired, Ethnos.
Man, that summarized my thought. Number 90, Aladdin's, a game that has been on my top 100 list since I started doing them in 2018.
really?
They've kind of fluctuated. Yeah, number 90 is the lowest it's been, though.
Where am
I
I?
need to play that.
Well, folks, that's number 89.
That's
Wow,
impressive.
That's commitment.
Yes.
That's commitment. He wrote a
They're
lot of numbers.
handwritten, too.
Wow.
Commit to the bit.
My hand's cramping just looking at that.
I know.
I haven't written that much in years.
Ever.
I was trying to write a letter. I think it was leaving my daughter a sweet little note before I left for convention.
Post-it note, of course, right?
It was a full sheet of paper. I was trying to fill it, and I was like, I can't.
No.
I don't love my kid that much. Miss you. Here's a big drawing of a penguin.
Smiley face.
You'd rather draw a penguin than write a word. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's like, okay, here we go. All right, my number 89 originally was, I had a different name called Camilla Owns a Hotel, but it changed to The Bloody Inn. This is a game that I love. The artwork on this is just so it's so bloody inn, you know? And it's just you own an inn and you rob your traveling guests as they come.
Of life.
And that's as they come in, you're going to choose people to rob. And also, you're going to have police officers come, and as they come, you need to make sure that any bodies that you have out there,
Because you rob them of life.
you do rob them of life. You need to have hidden, or you have to pay the local grave digger to go take it for an obnoxious amount. He charges far too much to dispose of a body. But this game is very tongue-in-cheek. It's very fun, and this is another end of the night, just fun game to play.
Now, does he charge a lot because he buries the body, or does he charge a lot because he doesn't ask questions?
He doesn't ask questions.
Yeah, I think it's a bribe.
He draws penguins, but what's that?
I think you bribe him, right? And you're like,
Yes. Yeah, and
it's not a
that's
body, it's a mannequin. It's Manny.
it's really fun. I have not tried the expansion, Carnies or something.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there's an expansion with Carnies and stuff like that, and Z said it adds like a lot to it. But the base game itself is great. So
Yeah.
I really enjoy this one. And
It's a lot of fun. I think the way you said it's tongue in cheek is
It is.
perfect. It really is. I mean, because the artwork is a little bit uncomfortable and bloody, but it's also cartoony and kind of silly at the same time. You know, it's
Yeah.
not grotesque, but yet still looks like a bloody inn.
That's the thing. When you describe it, it sounds like a dark game, and it's not. It's very whatever. It's also quick because you only get 2 actions a night. So it's one of those games that you really feel like you want to do all these things, but the night's over so quick, and you're just like, because you say, I'll never have a body out, and then it ends up you do. You're like, oh no, the
Right.
cop just showed up. You know, it's just, it's fun. So
Yeah.
that's Bloody Inn.
It's a really good one. I like that a lot. My number 89 is pretty divisive in the office, I believe here. I am on the side of I like it. It is Quacks of Quedlinburg.
I'm on the side of I don't
I
like it.
know. I think this is quite divisive. Where are you at on that?
Guess we'll have to find out.
I don't know. I need to know right now, though.
I do like it.
Oh,
I do
oh.
like it.
Yes, I really like it. I know it's lucky. I know that going into it. But I think that luck is mitigated enough for me in if you bust, you don't completely bust. You still get a choice of what to do. You still
Right.
get either points or to upgrade your bag. Did you bust because you already have a pretty good bag and it was just a bad draw? Cool, then take the points. Or late game, take the points. It's not worth putting more in your bag. I do see strategy in this. You know, there's a couple different ways I'll play it. Do I think that strategy always says who the winner is? No, because again, the luck factor is so high. But that's so much fun. We always play this where we pull out together because it's just, I feel like you need that emotional roller coaster. You know, if you're pulling out as quick as you can and we're pulling out separately, then you kind of lose that. I can see how someone would get frustrated on their own and be like, I busted again. Cool, you guys keep going, but if you're doing it together, you're feeling those highs and lows together. I love the events at the beginning that you pull, and so it gives some little boon to everybody or to the first player, something like that. It's just a flexible, fun game that feels like a family game, like a family night game, but has enough to it that it's a little, I played a game tonight, not I did an activity with my family. You know, it's a happy middle ground for me, and I really, really enjoy it. It just can become kind of that swingy fun without being raucous. You know what I mean? Raucous.
Yeah,
Raucous,
I mean, it's got bag building and push your luck, and it becomes, you know, when you're sitting there, and like you say, you draw, you know, all together or whatever, but then there's one person that's still drawing, and you just,
And you start kicking them under the table.
Only
You're like,
place that I go peer pressure. I'm like,
You're like, come check out my inn.
Do it. Grab one more.
I know, yeah.
Just one more.
The only time you try to
Just-
peer pressure Joey.
Okay, that's true. I do that a lot. Any push your luck. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I really enjoy this. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a perfect family night kind of game for me.
I agree.
So yeah, for me, Quacks of Quedlinburg.
I see why so many people like it. I just have no personal love for it. I've just always had bad experiences.
And
But
I think the opposite. I can see why people don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, no. But I do. I really, really enjoy it. I'm always down for a game with
And
this.
upgraded bits, right? Somebody mentioned that. Those have to be upgraded.
I will play without it, but yeah, no, I definitely prefer it. I want the little barrels too to put the chits in. You know, not the
Yes.
barrels, the
card
like
holder.
the
card,
boxes
yeah,
just
with
laying
the little
stuff.
thing
I
in the
like
back
those too.
so it sticks up. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just makes it visibly better.
All right, my number 89. As much as you and I can disagree on things, I think that if this one isn't on your list, it at least would have been close. My number 89 is Sky Team. This is a two-player cooperative game where pilot and co-pilot are the two players, and they are trying to land a plane successfully. They have to put dice of hidden values out. I roll my dice, the person I'm playing with rolls their dice, and we take turns placing them out. You have to balance the plane. You can't let it barrel roll because passengers don't like dying. You have
Picky.
to.
Not on Southwest. Sorry, Southwest. I had to pick something. I'm like, wow.
I had to pick one. Big. Okay.
Sacrificial lamb. There.
Like, wow.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, this is fun. I played a lot on Board Game Arena, which I think why it didn't make my top 10 games of last year, strangely. It was one of those, it was like 11, 12. And just in the few months that has been since December of last year, you know, things shift around and stuff. This one just has kept going up for me. I really love playing this. Love throwing those extra modules. Played it on Board Game Arena. I've soloed this, even though there's no official solo thing.
Really?
Yeah, you just kind of roll your dice, and then you you know, every turn the opponent, your co-pilot would go, you just roll a die for them and put it
That's the
somewhere.
one you have to play. Oh, interesting.
Stuff like that. I've played so much of this.
I will
yeah.
say this has been one of my most played games of the year. Like I really,
agree.
really enjoy this one. I also love Mike Heller's comment. This is the training program for Spirit.
I should have went Spirit. But they charge you for barrel rolls.
Would you like to upgrade to fast and painless death? 89 Sky Team.
Hey, look what just showed up on the table.
I'm not playing another board game today.
But it's the Dice Tower Top 100. It's number 88.
Hey.
This is good. Now, my number 88, oddly enough, did not know that was in the background of his video.
You got eagle eyes, dude. You're just like,
Yes.
I guess you know one game you're looking for.
I do.
That's fine.
And he was standing right
So you're
next
always
to it.
looking for one game.
I'm always looking for, yeah.
For whatever the next pick
I've been
is, right?
saving this one for. All right, this right here is a hidden movement game. It has dropped from 69 down here. I still love it. It's a little bit long, been replaced by other hidden movement games that hit the table more. But this is Fury of Dracula. And Fury of Dracula is still probably the most thematic hidden movement game.
Love that cover.
And it just drips theme when you're sitting there chasing Dracula. And what's great is when you have somebody that knows what they're doing playing Dracula, anything can go. You know, they can head to those islands or whatever. And it could also end quick. Well, we've had a couple times where you just go one step behind you, like right back there, and he's like, well, this is awkward.
He's got a dagger in there.
Because
Aww. He's slicing a king.
because you do that like double, triple think, you're like, okay, they'll never look for me right in the middle of all of them.
Yeah.
You know? So it's great. And I mean, I also love the battle mechanic. You know, that kind of rock, paper, scissors type thing. When you put it down, it's so fun. Then you've got to travel because you're chasing them down to a certain area, and then they can go by boat. They can escape by boat, but they lose health if going by boat. I love this. Every character is asymmetric, and you can take the roads, you can take the railways. It's real, and then the little surprises that Dracula leaves along the way. So you're not just chasing him; you have to deal with these little things he's left, like these little vampires or whatever.
Oh, okay. I
So-
know what kind of surprises.
Okay, yeah,
He's
left.
like Easter Bunny, you know?
Yeah, but it's
Extra
really
chocolates.
this one. I love this game, and it is 88. But anytime somebody brings this out and wants to play it, I'm game. So it's
Very
Fury
nice.
of Dracula.
I'm gonna try that one. That's been on the to try for a while now.
You have not played this?
I've not. I
No,
know.
me either, no.
You have not played? Oh,
I've heard. I feel like I missed the
Big ketchup whiz
excitement on this one. You
No,
know what I
it's
mean?
still
And so,
there.
no, I'm saying like I've missed that, and so it's not getting to the table. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had an opportunity to play.
Yeah, there are
and
other
so-
ones on my list, but this is probably the best as far as just pure theme.
Yeah.
It's one that I would play as like an experience. So like I could say that I've played it.
Right.
But I know that so many more hidden movement games coming out lately are quicker, And there are ones that are still nailing the theme,
Yep.
right, that are doing well. So I don't feel like an urgency to play.
Right.
Interesting.
I agree.
Yeah. I just wonder thematically if this one would hit me more, so. My number 88 is another push your luck game, and this is Ink and Gold.
Yes.
This is like just a filler. It fits better with larger groups, I feel like, as well. I played a lot of this during the pandemic over Zoom, when everyone closed their eyes and, are you staying in or are you going out? 1, 2, 3, reveal, and whoever.
You played over Zoom?
I played a lot of this over Zoom.
Huh.
And I really enjoy it. I think it, again, just like the other one, it has a lot of swing to how the cards come out. You can have those rounds where 3 cards in, you've drawn 2 of the same thing, and everybody is out, and it kicks everyone out. But that leads to such a great next round when then you have double the treasures somewhere in that deck that you're waiting to come out. And so it really pays forward on those rounds that kind of bust, if you will. And then maybe you make it 10 cards in, and you're like, all right, I'm out, I'm getting that treasure. Whoo, I got that 8-point treasure. And then they go on to go through 15 more cards, and you're like, well, whoops.
Oh, I know. That's the worst feeling.
And then all the points are hidden, and so you're like, I think I'm there, but I really feel like there's such a reveal moment when you either open your treasure box or lift up the tent, whichever version you have, and show, and it's like, what? You had that many? It's always that sneaky little person that you didn't realize, how much they had collected. So I just find this to be a very flexible game. It has the highs and the lows, and again, for a filler game,
right,
and fits so many different groups. I mean, you can play this with your family, you can play it with your kids, just your adult friends, you can take it to church and play. It's just a very flexible game that I feel like always gives the same experience.
100%.
It's very, very reliable in that. So yeah, really love Ink and Gold, and it's my number 88. Still, I think it did. This whole chunk is pretty similar to before. It's just boom, moved down, from all the news. So yeah, this one was. I will look it up.
I do wish the card on this one, on both versions
77.
of this, you knew where he was going a bit easier. He's
whoa.
we're coming out.
Okay, so what we did, we just grabbed 8 meeples. We threw it in there, right? And then we do the meeple drop variant, where you're just holding it, and so everyone's holding in a closed fist. You say, okay, 3, 2, 1. If you're leaving, you drop. Right? And if you're staying in, you keep it in your hand.
So we do that. I don't like that. I like the version better that has the 2 cards, and you have your card and everyone simultaneously reveals what card. Because the meeple drop, I feel like you always have that one person that's like, 3, 2, 1, drop. Oh yeah, I meant to drop too. Like they just wait a little bit.
You have horrible friends.
I do.
That's
I love
that's on them. But for me, that tension of everyone looking at each other. I'm sure that's there with the card too. But just that visceral drop. Elevates it a little bit.
And I've also found sometimes wait, if I drop, am I continuing to go because that's me walking, or is that me running away? It's always just confused. But I agree. I think that is the way to do it if you are using the meeples. So yeah, my number 88.
All right, 88 for me was probably not in the background of that guy's shelf. This is a game that very few people champion, but I definitely do. It's called Tybor the Builder. Tybor the Builder is an Alexander Pfister game.
Bob's dad.
Bob's great, did you say grandfather in German? But this is a little game, a card drafting game, that has a little bit more going on than Sushi Go Party kind of level, but not as confusing symbology as I found Seven Wonders to have, right? So there's 3 ways to use each card. You're trying to construct a bunch of buildings, but just the idea of passing these around, and you look at this hand of cards and you're like, this guy has the tool that I'm trying to set collect, but he's also has a lot of building power because the buildings are some of the best points. But set collecting is really good points. Or do I just grab one of these I don't want someone to have, and I just spend it for the ability to construct a building this turn? So every card is multi-use in 3 ways without the game being overwhelming for how simple of a package it is.
Yeah, I just go back to that gameplay, Roy, would you? Because I just imagine setting this up and then surprise!
Oh, see it.
There we go. Surprise!
Down is not the best.
I just can't imagine right there saying, all right, this game is very similar to Sushi Go Party. And people will be like, I don't think you've played Sushi Go Party.
It
It's funny.
looks a little bit like like visual muck at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once you explain the 3 elements of every card and the buildings on the side, people are like, oh yeah, got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that thing
Sounds
costs
pretty
5
quick.
to build. I have 5. I can build it. You know what I mean?
That's
Numbers.
cool.
Yeah. So time for the build is 88 this year. Last year was 79, and in 22 it was 34. Like this, I have loved this game a lot.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't pull out and play it enough. So there you go. 88. Highboard the
okay.
Builder.
Greetings and felicitations.
Hip hip hurrah, tally ho.
I'm Nayar
And I'm Kavora.
of the Star Pod Trek podcast. Get ready for game number 87.
Engage.
I love Star Trek. I think Star Trek is up here and Star Wars is down here.
Okay.
Hot take.
All right.
Oh, good. No one argues with me. All right. Very good.
I'm indifferent.
So my
on that.
87. That's true. You don't like any fiction.
You can
show.
be wrong
What?
publicly, Joey. That's fine with me.
All right, my 87. Let me build this up. This is a push your luck back
Can you
building
light it on
game.
fire?
And yes, you
Yeah?
like fire? It is fire in the library, of course. Sorry.
I like setting books on fire. I've
This-
learned from memes.
You're putting the fire out, Chris.
Is this the one that you taught me
Yes, you
wrong?
played it. Probably. But did I teach you wrong?
Very wrong.
Did I teach you wrong?
I don't know. Let me see it. Yep.
I did.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, we
anyway.
played it very wrong until the last 2 minutes. You're like, oh well, we'll just pretend it was like this instead.
Oh yeah, we really burnt that library quick.
We?
I burnt that library quick. All right,
Yeah.
so that's
The
right.
library means teach.
Okay, it was like 1 a.m. But
Joey has all his fire extinguishers filled with jet fuel. Like,
Yeah, he's like,
this
"It's
is
not-
weird.
I'm pretty sure this is how it plays. I'm pretty sure. This
Okay.
sounds good.
So this is a back building where you're reaching and you're trying not to grab fire cubes, the red cubes, and it's really just at first it's just pulling little cubes out of a bag, but you draw different books worth different money. The whole thing is you're trying to save books before the library goes up in flame. And that picture you saw 4 different kind of quadrants. It's going to show different wings of the library are going to start to burn at different times. And what I like too is how the player order changes and other people are a little bit safer, but the ones that aren't safe get more money for each book that they save. So there's a cool little mechanic going on there.
Yeah.
And there's
Little
a variation
balance
that
in
I
it.
taught Camilla.
Yeah. He's trying it out. Don't recommend. Didn't make it to BGG. Crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that is Fire in the Library, which I do like. It was 1 o'clock in the morning.
The whole time you must have said 10 times during that game. I don't know. I'm sure this
It
is
didn't
right.
feel right.
You're like, this isn't, that's what you said. Doesn't feel right. Well, that's how I remember it. It must be right. Like, okay.
Okay, yeah, that was good. Okay.
My number 87 is, I think this is the heaviest Ryan Lockett Red Raven game that I've played. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think so. It's going to be the last in the trilogy and be now or never.
Oh.
I am in the minority here that likes this one more than Near and Far. I really, really like Now or Never. It is longer, but I feel like it rewards you in that length. You really have time to build up your character, to go out and explore. You have time to do everything you want to. So I think it is better at lower player counts because of that. But if you put that time into it, it's so very rewarding as you are building out your tableau and your city over here, but also going out and getting weapons and training your guy and upgrading him. I just really like that kind of asymmetry that you're building throughout the game. It has a little bit of everything. Has some fighting, has some city building, in your little tableau over here. It has upgrading your character, kind of giving you that almost light RPG kind of feel to
Right.
it, but still has those little bits of story behind it. I really, really like how this comes together in a really big, clean picture. So definitely worth the time, I think. I really enjoyed Now or Never. So this is one that I say I love, but I also don't think it gets enough love. It kind of is like, oh, it's too long, and it's just forgotten about. No, I think it's very, very much worth that extra time. I don't know that I want it much shorter.
I can't say that I like this one more than Near and Far because I've played neither.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would check out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said 2 years ago, after we did a top 100, and Ryan Lockett's games were on everybody's list, I was like, okay, 2023 is going to be the year of Ryan Lockett, and I'm going to catch up
Yeah.
a bunch on his games.
Yep.
2025 is going to be the year Ryan Lockett.
I tend to like Ryan's designs a lot. I think he does really good. Kind of those Euro mechanisms a little bit, but with that story and world creation, which is very much my vibe.
I think I played this one. I played one of these. I think I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I've only played one of these. I think it was this one or Near and Far.
He didn't play the right rules. It was 1 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course not. No.
Probably.
All right. My number 87 here was 80 last year. It was new to the list last year. This is a high-octane, just wild and zany game called Ready, Set, Bet.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
I'm in the minority on this one for sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And this is one of those that can just play a huge group of people. One person is in some ways functionally not really playing the game, Tom Vassell, and just rolling dice and moving horses.
I don't think he's ever played this game.
I don't think Tom has ever played.
No, I did witness Tom playing this game as the actual, a person betting on which horse is going to win. Because it was at Gen Con, we had just gotten it. Brian Drake was there, and he's rolling the dice, announcing the numbers and stuff, and just butchering it. This was 10 o'clock after Gen Con, so I'm going to give him some leeway, but I'm still going to make fun of him and call him out publicly.
Absolutely, as one should with their boss, yes.
But, oh my gosh, yeah, if you want a wild, this is one of the coolest and most robust betting games out there that you feel like you have no control and yet also a lot. However it pulls it off, it does it so well.
Yeah.
Ready, set, bet.
One I can appreciate, but no.
Appreciate from afar.
Right, you guys are having fun. That's great.
Enjoy it.
Good for you.
Hey, coming to you from Indianapolis, somewhere near the Dice Tower North Annex. This is number 86.
Was my game on there? Did you look?
The game, your game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know?
It was.
Possibly.
Porta Nigra, right? I don't know what year 86 is. Mine right here is, this is a game about herding dragons. And I've played
Hurting
this.
dragons?
Herding? What? No.
And when I first started playing this, or I've looked at it, I'm like, that's like a Fabio dragon. There's like a dragon on the cover, she's like fabulous. She's like, oh, look at me. But this is a cute game. And this is Dragon Keeper.
Yes, I was hoping it was that. I'm so excited. It's good, isn't it?
It's a really, really good game.
It might be on my list. I don't know yet.
Oh, you haven't done your list either?
Does this Fabio dragon get hit in the face with a goose by chance?
He does on a roller coaster. But this is... All right, this just adds... Hey, there's so much going on in this. There's that book in the middle that as the cards draw, different things are going to show up. And I love that because you can't really fully plan out your turn until you know the book that's going to be there when it comes your time around. And you've got that decision that you are trying to get all the colors of dragons, but as you put a dragon on an end, you close off that dragon in the middle. And you can no longer add to it. And then on top of it, because you want to get your full set, because you first want to get those points of getting your full set, but you also want to close it down too soon. And the whole time you're grabbing the amulets and whatever, and you've got the eggs. There's a lot going on in a cute, simple game.
When it first said, you close off that dragon in the middle, I thought, until when?
Oh,
and it means,
it's done.
You're done.
And
no more red dragons for you.
Right. I've probably taught this game 10 times, and every time I do, there's that moment in the teach where everyone's like, oh. And you're like, oh. It's really cool. But then it has the advanced rules with the little advanced pieces, and one of those where you can use your gems in different ways, and one of those is you can spend a gem to be able to play into the middle. And that's always just so powerful where you can break the rules. You have to play the big boy rules though.
No.
That's that second little pamphlet that you threw away.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
I don't touch it. But this is really good. This is a surprise small box game, and it really, really works.
It's so good. It's so good. Good choice.
Thank
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're very quiet during it.
Again, I got my poker face on. I've been practicing. Okay. All right. My number 86 is Dune Imperium. Dune
Imperium.
Get the bucket.
No, I hit the bucket. Don't touch the bucket.
Yes. Why do we not have the bucket? This is the moment for the bucket.
All right. So my number is 86. Dune Imperia. Jeez, it's still there.
Just makes sense. Fine. I'll put it down.
Yeah. Okay. So what I was saying earlier. When I was saying earlier how I love games that have the two parts, that's really, I think, really sells this.
Get the sensor bar.
Yeah.
It's not my fault we have this in here.
It's my fault.
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, well, may I?
Yes.
Are you done? Oh, man. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier, how you see trends in your taste, and one trend in my taste is games that kind of have these two, the broken rounds. You do, like in Dog Park, what?
I'm just imagining playing Quacks at Quedlinburg with the Dune popcorn bucket now.
Oh.
Oh, that would be great. You have 4 popcorn buckets?
I'm sorry, I'm going to let you continue now.
No, you're fine. Oh, my
I think I know 3. We've got one here, Christmas.
Oh, my
one.
gosh.
Oh, it'd be great.
Jeez, that'd be so awkward.
Dice Tower East.
I would not know where to look. Okay. All right. So my number 86, I like games that have 2 parts. And Dune Imperium, and 1 is kind of that deck builder, but also like efficient hand management, trying to make the most of your hand. But then the second part is actually that battle resolution that you go into as well. And I really like the way the two balance each other through the game. So Dune Imperium is my number 86. Sans bucket.
I'll have more to speak of this in the future.
No. Maybe.
All right, my number.
Poker face.
My number 86 also takes place in a deserty climate. That's assuming that I know anything about the actual culture based on the cover. My number 86 is Istanbul. So,
I think,
yeah.
maybe.
I think.
Yeah, sure.
Probably.
Looks like it.
All right, I have loved Istanbul for a long time. It was at one point, in 2018, it was number 12 on my list.
I'll trade you for a bucket.
Istanbul is a delight. You have a stack of people that you're moving around, kind of like a worker placement, worker movement game, and then you drop off the bottom disc from the stack, and you're playing breadcrumbs. Where later, as you're dwindling on them, you have to come back to actions you've already done to pick back up that disc and stick it underneath your stack. And so, it is a wonderful puzzle. You can randomize the 16 tiles in the base game, and you create a different map, and you're like, okay, how do I run around, buy gems, or trade different goods for the gems? And then you mix it up, play another time, and you're like, all right, this is going to be very different. When did I finally get around to playing the 2 expansions for this, which make the board bigger, and yet still more manageable. It gives you more ways to kind of take actions further from where you are, or to take little bonuses and stuff. It's such a great game. It kind of saddens me to see it in the 80s, but it's also just one that I've played for so long that maybe I'm more comfortable with it than I am like over the moon about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is something to be said about that. Like some games, like Welcome to, where I was like, I have, hundreds of games to play to this because that I love it and it's still on my list. And others where it's like, I have hundreds of games and because of that, I'm like, oh, very comfortable. And it's becoming more comfortable than like my top 100. I love it so much, I'm excited.
Yeah.
There is kind of a shift there that happens.
But this is such a comfort food game for me. So, yeah. Istanbul.
That's pretty great.
That made me happy.
That's
that was
really
good.
good.
That was good.
Okay. All right. So my number 85 is a new game on the list, but it's a game that I started playing again. Remember how much I liked it. It's an older game. But this is one he actually asked to borrow a while back. This is Legendary Encounters Alien.
Oh, this is so good too.
And I mean, when you asked to borrow it, I'm like, yes. So then I started playing it again. And first of all Legendary Encounters I do like, but Alien and Predator, those 2 are my go-tos.
And you like Alien more than Predator, you think?
I do. You like Predator more than Alien.
But I think IP, I prefer Predator. Anyway, so I think it sells into that. Yeah. I think this probably is more fun with the movies and that kind of stuff.
It is.
But I'm just a sucker for the Predator.
I mean, you're playing
so
through
handsome.
the movies, and I mean, it's so thematic. I mean, I know you can like mix and match and stuff, but when you actually play, I remember with I put my mom into it, and we're playing with her before church, and ends up she missed church. And everything because we're sitting there playing all 3 movies. She's like, "We just got to keep going."
Yeah, I love your mom.
It's great.
We should be friends.
Yes, it's
This game will cause one to sin.
We'll skip church and play this with your mom anytime.
It's so good. I have not played like combined Alien versus Predator and all this, and just recently I had to.
Wait, I'm sorry. Go back. You can do that?
Yes.
What?
I know.
You didn't tell me you didn't put that note in the box.
We've got to do that.
Because you got a
Alien
hand cramp. You just
versus-
didn't finish writing it, right?
I drew a penguin
You
instead.
drew a penguin, yeah.
I know what that was.
But this is great. It actually got this week. I have my legendary counters like that takes up too much space. So I just put them all in. I combined like Alien and Predators now in the same box. I know it's abomination, but
No, I do that because they both have about half a box. Why
they
not?
do. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Well,
And this
and
is-
if they play together, you're not just like,
Right.
yeah, why not?
Well, and this one's wildly out of print. The Alien one, right? Like, I mean,
It
you
is.
can't hardly get it. I know because
Oh.
I've been looking. But it's like, so yeah. At that point, you know, it's not like expansions coming or anything like that. Oh my gosh, I did not think to put this on my list, and I should have. What a dummy I am.
And there's just that face hugger that you have that shows up, and then you're scanning up in the air vent,
Yes.
and it gives you that tension that not many other ones do. You scan, you see what's coming down that vent, and you're like, oof, I cannot let him get to the zone.
Right.
You know, and it's just, I love this game.
Oh my gosh, and that face hugger, like when you get the face hugger on your character, and then it's like, oh no, we gotta get this off.
Yes.
Like, this is a time bomb. You know? And you're like, dun, dun, dun. Yeah. And oh my gosh, and you have like all the soundtracks you can listen to. Oh, I'm so glad you put this because I didn't think about it. It might be on my list next year.
It's so good. Yeah. So I agree. I like all of them. I like Bond. I like all of them, but this is probably my favorite.
Before we continue, I got called out in the chat that Istanbul is in fact a port city on the Mediterranean. So it's not in the middle of the desert, you know.
That's on them. They have a beige cover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's on you.
Geography. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
it's a
man.
port city.
Stupid Americans.
All three of us are like, sounds right. Sounds right.
Sounds dry.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. All right, my number 86 just ties into my love of order and assembly line and just like logistics.
You're doing the same thing, 85, right?
What's that?
You're like looking back
Yeah.
and forth, confused. Okay.
Oh,
you said
yeah.
86.
Oh, did I? Okay, yeah, it is 85 though. Yeah. No, that was just that was me processing logistically. I was not looking at the number.
Oh no, it's Joey who was looking very confused, but I
Oh.
guess that's his state of being.
Oh yeah, no,
Sorry.
just ignore
What?
it.
Are we done?
He's still thinking about fire in the library and trying to figure out what the real rule is. My number 85 is Automania. And this, you are manufacturing cars, and you have to balance trying to. And it's not really a balance, I guess. It is you're trying to assemble the highest value car, and then decide what market to sell them into. You know, are you going to sell them for points overseas in the national market, or are you going to sell them in the Americas for just money, which is then going to give you money to feed into your assembly line to get better parts to build better cars, you know, whether you want to do a really high-end sports car or a really luxury SUV. So you're planning all this stuff, just trying to assembly line create cars. And as the market is changing, you're adapting that assembly line. And it just makes me so happy to be like, oh, I'm building a sports car. Goes down the line. Sure, it's energy efficient. Why not? Oh, dice in the mirror. That sounds cool. And then you sell it. And it just makes me so happy. It's just like logistical little happy place. So I really enjoy Automania. It's a theme that it's like, why you're making cars? I don't know, but it makes me so happy to just see that assembly line. The procedure of the game that you're building is very satisfying. This is a very satisfying game to me.
Yeah,
I have not played this.
It's good.
No, it's a good one. I don't love it as much as everyone else, but I have good memories from it, and I agree that like, they went with a fun, jovial approach rather
Right.
than like the
very
boring.
factory.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And you have the 3 different assembly lines that'll kind of cross over on one, so you have to choose which assembly line. Yeah, it's logistically happy.
Same company.
Aye.
Company for my 85 here, though not the same game. This one is what introduced to me by well, Z talked it up so much. I was like, I gotta eventually try this one. So this was Santa Maria. This is a cool dice drafting game.
That's a desert.
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
I do love Mike. Istanbul is the only European city that exists entirely within a tropical rainforest. Chris Yee. Anyway, yeah.
So in Santa Maria, you have this board that is a grid, and you're drafting different dice to activate columns, right? But you also can get blue dice, which will activate rows across, and so it's not the same as Automania, but it has some of that similarities where you are building things up on your board, knowing that they are going to affect multiple different paths. And so I have this great thing. How do I activate that multiple times? What do I do to build up this board in a way that will just generate me a lot of what I want? And so, on the nose, 2 on the nose.
No, I had an itch.
Oh, okay,
But,
okay.
yeah, is that how appreciate that.
This was 63 last year, the first time that I had played it. It's now at a good 85. I haven't played it in a little bit, but man, I do want to come back to this one. It's so clever and so fun.
How old is it, did you say?
It's, I don't know, a few years old now, maybe like a 5-year-old game or so.
I've not played this either.
It definitely looks older.
It's a cute cover, though.
It's not nearly as cute as Automania, but it's much newer than Automania from
Really?
Porta's catalog.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things from Z, from you. So.
Yeah, I do recommend. 85, Santa Maria.
Hey, Cardboard RJ here from Board Game Casual. And next up is not just another flash in the pan, it's number 84.
All right, number 84. Mine is a deduction style game. This one, I think I played out when it first came out. I was playing it way too much. And, then I went through a lull, and now I'm back to it's coming back out again. And the artwork on this is great. This is the one line game my wife will play, and that is Detective Club. Detective Club, I do love this game. The artwork on here is just fantastic. What it is you all have... Everyone's given a word. Like, one person writes a word on all these notepads, hands them out to everybody. One person's getting a blank notepad, so they don't know the word. Everyone puts cards face down, 2 cards face down, and then, one by one, you reveal, and you say, okay, the word was water. I chose this because this house is on the beach. And each person flips and says why they chose that with the word. So the person that's lying has to flip and say why they chose that, how it has to do with water, while not missing a beat, acting like they knew the word was water the entire time. And it's...
Okay, if memory serves, I thought that you see people play cards face up. So if you're the person without
I'm sorry, you're right.
You're like, okay, that has these things. I'm going to play this card.
That's right.
Hope.
We started doing it face down sometimes too, which is
This is a 1 in the morning Joey Barry.
It is. We did because we played it so much. But yeah, you do play them face up. But that's what's fun is because you're looking at people playing face up and you're wondering what aspect to kind of, okay, I think by the second time around, you're kind of, okay, it's probably this. It depends on how abstract the word is, because your word's usually not water. It's usually something like comfort or whatever, something odd. So as you see it,
Comfort is very odd, yeah.
yeah, and you can also you can combine. I think what the Dice Tower copy has like the Stella and all the different games.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah,
so you
so
have the
it's
cards.
all the artwork is in there. So this is a fun game. It's again that anxiety if you're the second person and you don't know the word when the first person says the word and immediately you have to think. If you're later in it, you can kind of have time to process on why you chose
Without
those.
just being like, yeah, me too. Same reason I chose this one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So
I
anyway,
don't know.
what I don't like is when someone just says, oh, I had no good cards, so I just played these. I'm like, but you can always say that. That's kind of, so anyway, that's Detective Club.
Get better friends.
The artwork on this is great.
Yeah. That's neat. That's cool. I like those games, that all those games have those same kind of cards and layouts so you can bring them in.
Detective Club, Stella, and there's a couple. Dixit. Yeah.
My number 84 is when I think nostalgically about playing games, like when you think back on stuff, you either remember it, I guess kind of rose-tinted glasses, you remember just it being a lot, just all the good stuff, I guess. So when I think about playing games in my childhood, I just think, oh my gosh, they were so fun. And I think my number 84, Thunder Road Vendetta. I didn't play that as a kid, but the way this game plays is the way I remember playing games as a kid. Even though it wasn't this game. Like you play this and you just are instantly 12 years old playing with your friends again, like, I got you. Like you just feel so fun. I don't know. It's just fun in a box. I love how chaotic it is. I love how swingy it is. I love the laugh out loud moments of this game. It's just ruckus, and it's I wrote just foon on my list here. I should have handwritten it. It is so foon and fulfilling. No, it's I just really like it. I like especially with the expansion. So I think without the expansion, this game, one of the expansions, the game is much lower for me. But when you have the one, I forget which one it is, but it's the one that gives you the player powers.
Yes, you need that one.
When you get that one and you just feel that little bit more out of control, you know, that little bit of like, ha, I broke the game. Wait, you broke the game. But I broke the game too, you know, and it just takes it, that swinginess a little bit more. I really, really enjoy it. It feels nostalgic and like you're a kid again, even if you didn't play this game as a kid, you know, and I didn't. Like, I just feel like a 12-year-old playing games again, like, ha, 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 you know?
And it's a race, but it's not really a race because you're like, this should be called just, let's see what happens.
The real race are the friends you blew up along the way.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this game it's so fun.
It's in my like 100 to 110s. It's so stinking close to being on the list, but it's not for me.
Really good. Yeah.
So good.
Yes, this game is a bloost. Thank you, Mike.
My number 84, I can confidently say, is in the desert.
Oh?
The game is called Through the Desert.
Through the
Desert. Oh, Chad just said that's actually a port city.
Yeah.
So,
this just in.
So I had not played this one. This is a game from the mid to late 90s. It's a Reiner Knizia spatial puzzle, right? It's like an abstract game, basically. But I hadn't played it until...
A lot of camels.
Have you played?
No, I've not played it.
All the camels, all the time.
It's a lot of camels.
Wow.
It does a lot of things that I enjoy that other kind of abstracts that I think have been inspired by this do. I have, caravans of multiple colors. You have the same colors. Our caravans can't touch. And so in this interactive way, like I start building over here and you're like, oh, if Camilla wants to get all the way around, she's going to have to go extra further just because I put one more camel. She can't just straight line it anymore. But there's so much to do that if someone shuts off a path, you're like, well, I'll go and do these other things, and then I'll shut down other people from different paths. But there's always some good stuff to do. Block off a whole chunk of the board with just your camels. You'll score 1 point for every hex you filled in. Connect oases to each other. Make a big long path. And so with the recent expansions in the all-play version, I also like a little bit of extra variety in there. This is one that's new to me. Never been on my list before. I'd never played until maybe a year ago. But I see why this one's a veritable classic. And, as the introduction said, not a flash in the pan.
Wow. And a lot of camels.
Number 83.
That was fabulously uncomfortable.
All the eyebrows.
Maybe the eyebrow was good, and then it goes right back down.
The eyebrows.
I love it.
Okay, so my 83, I can imagine getting flack for this because this actually was one game that was on my top 5 most overrated games. Which is funny because overrated means I think it's overrated, although I still like the game. And, wow, I'm going to get judged a lot. But this is a game my wife loves, so we played it 2, pretty much exclusively at 2, where you build a zoo, and this is Ark Nova.
Oh, I was close.
Oh.
Ark
wow.
Nova.
I'm surprised it's that high for you.
We play it a lot, because if your wife likes to play a game, you play a game.
You play a game.
And it's fun. I think it plays too long at more than 2. I think there's too many cards, but at its core, I do like it. I think it's got a nice puzzle. It's just complex enough. I enjoy everything this game has to offer. I do find a longer player count gets long, but the 2 players, I think this really sings. And there's coffee breaks built into this. That's pretty cool. So this is Ark Nova. It's got enough cards you can play this over and over and not have the same ones show up. That I do like.
That's cool.
So, and you both, I'm sure, have played this.
I played it, yeah.
It's a very satisfying game. I agree that I think the higher player counts is like the biggest downside for me.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think there's other things that give me the same feel that are quicker or snappier or something like that. But yeah. I know this is well regarded.
And it's a good game, and I would wholeheartly agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just got judged. Quietly, internally.
My number 83, I play only at 2 players as well, because it is a 2-player only game, and it is Nagaraja. Have you played this, either of you?
No.
I'm distracted by the chat.
It's too long, too complex. I don't really enjoy it, but my wife is watching. Too long, too many cards, too many animals. It's my number 4.
No, I've not tried Nagaraja before.
Nagaraja is the most satisfying dice rolling, if you will, in any game I've ever played, because it's not dice. I guess they're 4-sided dice, but they're runes, and so you just have this handful of runes, and you're shaking, you just roll them out, and then that is your, I guess, kind of action points, for the round. So it's a 2-player only game, and you're going out and you're trying to be the first to get, I believe it's 25 points, either 25 or 21. I think it's 25. You're trying to be the first to get that, but on your own, this is your own player board here, you have curses, and if you get a certain number of curses, it's like instant death. And so you have the multi-use cards. That's the other thing that I really love. I love multi-use cards, and you have cards, so you have to decide, are you going to use them for their rune power, because that's how many runes you're rolling each time, or are you going to use them are you going to activate them with the runes? On both sides are good, so just some interesting decisions as you're kind of racing through. You're racing through this game to try to get to a certain number of points. And it has a really good push and pull to it, I find. It's 2 players. Nagaraja is really, really fun. And I love rolling the runes. Gosh, it's so satisfying. So good.
That looks good. I like that board. Very like Night Cage like that, just dark. I mean, it looked,
Well, and you fill it in as you're going, so it's a 3x3 grid that you're filling in. You have to make these paths to the outside.
That's
so
cool.
you build it as you go, and it's very visually satisfying as well.
Yeah, I'd try that one.
I like that.
That sounds interesting. My number 83 is, I've never played it 2 players, so I'm breaking the trend. I'm breaking the trend here, but this is a game that was also on Wendy's list, I think in her 80s as well, yesterday on Wednesday.
Wow, that long ago?
Yeah. This one's called Ground Floor. This is one that I'm absolutely certain that you two have not played.
I've not, no.
Yeah.
It's by David Short, right?
It is by David Short. Name another David Short game.
Top Floor.
Middle ground.
That was a good bluff. You fooled me for half a second. No, so this is, David Short's done a couple of other clever games like automobiles and stuff, the bag building racing game. This one is like his heavier thinker stinker of a Euro game. You are putting out workers onto that board over there, which I really like this particular striking street art edition of the game. The first edition didn't look this good. And you're kind of,
so striking.
You first place out all of your workers onto the buildings, and then after everyone's done with that, you activate the buildings from left to right. And it's one of those that I like that style. You are investing in a few different resources to construct actual layers, like floors of your building. So the bottom right of that player board there are floors you build up. And so it's got this cool thing too, where you're like, my building's bigger! Yeah, I got a special power. It's not just a special power. You don't just get a little card. You like literally make your building taller. You're like,
Oh, I do like that. That is nice.
Yeah.
But it's...
How big is the box on this? Is it a big box game?
Ticket ride size.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, it's thinky. It has a few odd systems to it. It's a Spielworks game. It definitely feels like that, but I like it so much. So, yeah, Ground Floor, my number 83.
Huh.
Ooh, necklace.
Number 82.
Who are you talking to?
Anyone.
Was that Pretty Princess?
That's Pretty Princess.
I have played that a lot. My version looks different. It's missing a lot of pieces. All right, so
On purpose or accident? You're like,
nope.
Oh,
it's going to be missing the game.
How do you shorten this game? Whoops.
Whoops. Oh. Okay, all right. So my number 82 is it's a game that I really love. It's got the Egyptian theme. I actually played this on the cruise 2 or 3 times. It is an older game, but it's Phil Walker Harding. He had a new version of it that's not new, a couple years ago. But this is Archaeology New Expeditions.
This is like the new Adventures of Winnie the Pooh that's like from the 80s. And you're like, you got to stop calling it that at some point.
Right.
This printing has been around for like, I think almost a decade now.
Yeah, but it's newer than the other one.
Yes.
Okay, and it doesn't really add much. I think the tent is new. I don't know. But anyway, this whole thing is your first thing you do is you dig. And then it's a set collection at its core is what it is. And then you can sell to the market, which is in the center, which you can trade for something of the same value, or you can actually sell to the museum. But once you sell your set to the museum, then it's set. it's like you can no longer touch that. So you want to hold them as long as possible, but there are also sandstorms and thieves that are going to come. Sandstorms will then mix everything up. It goes to the market. Thieves, people can take your cards. So it's a kind of push your luck where you're going to hold on as long as you can to want to get that full set. And then as you start seeing people grab from the market, you're going to be like, okay, I see you're going for that. So you might be like, okay, I don't want to put this cup out there. I know you're going for that. So it's really, I enjoy this game a lot. Oh, then on top of that, there's like these pyramids that you can get maps to go in and grab cards and pull them through. So there's several facets of this fairly simple game. And it's a small travel game.
It feels like an old school game, right?
It does.
Like it's a little bit older, but it's clearly a hobby designed game. But it has elements that you can tell this is his first design, where like you draw your card for the round and it's steal a card from another player. It's things that like people shy away from now.
Well, that's a thief. It only happens
when you draw a card.
6, 8 times.
Okay, it does happen like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
Okay,
and yet it's still a game that I love a lot.
Yeah.
Those moments aren't that frustrating, even though it seems like it should be. So it's fantastic. I recommend it.
Yeah.
Very cool. My number 82 is another 2-player game. This one feels more of like whereas the other one was more of a race, this one is more of a tug of war, if you will. It is Caper Europe. So this is, you are building a band of thieves who are going out and trying to steal different artifacts. And so it's a drafting game where you are drafting and you're playing thieves and giving them equipment on different locations to either boost them up and give them, make them better thieves there at the location, or you're actually going there and stealing the treasure. And so you're ultimately just trying to create the best band of thieves here and collect all the treasure. And I really like that this has that drafting mechanism, and it kind of has not set collection, but where the cards are going to feed off each other to make the thieves better. But then also that tug of war of who is controlling that location for the scoring.
Right.
So it's really tense, and it's not just one thing. It doesn't feel purely like a set collection. It doesn't feel purely like a tug of war. It kind of balances a little bit of all of those things that leads to really good tension throughout the rounds. So for a 2-player game, it's so very smooth and just manages to check so many different boxes in this genre. So I really enjoy Caper Europe.
That's a great one. My number 82 is not a crossover, but it's funny because it's another small box 2-player drafting card game. Mine's called Beer and Bread.
I've wanted to play
I have
this.
too.
Yeah.
Oh man, so this one is not as tense. Like Caper Europe is so constantly tense. Where you're like, if I take this card, I know the card's been given to the other person. This one's a little bit more easygoing. It's also multi-use cards actually, kind of like Typo the Builder, where every one of those cards can either be some resources or the thing you're trying to make, which is beer and bread, right? Or the bottom is a special power that you tuck under your board. And so there's so many times where you're like, I want everything. How do I give up my favorite child for my second favorite? You know what I mean? Like, it's great. It's not that tension, that head-to-head, but there is a little bit of that, like, I don't want to give my opponent this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's a lot of factors in. And it's funny because every other round you draft back and forth, but then the other rounds, you just have a fixed hand of cards, but you have a little bit of control with what cards you get in those rounds. So it's nice to have that little tension relief from being like, these cards are mine, they will never be Camilla's. Great.
Do you, how long is this? Like, how long is the playtime?
It's been a little bit since I played.
Oh, okay.
I would say probably 45 minutes, like 30 to 45.
Okay, so I think that's probably a little bit longer than Caper Europe.
It might be in that same
Kind of
time
spectrum,
frame.
but okay.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, like, if maybe you needed that little bit of break, because I think Caper Europe, that's what it does well. Is it's right there by the end. You are not exhausted, but it's not a game I played twice in a row because of that consistent tension. You know, and it's good, but it's right there at the end where it's like, whew. All right, I'm glad I played that. It did not overstay its welcome, but that was enough, you know, kind of thing. And so I wonder if this would have a little bit more relief with that.
I think this one's a little bit longer, but yeah, it's good the way that it has that bounce back and forth. There you go. Beer and bread.
This.
What do the Evil Dead, Scanners, and the Beyond have in common? They came out in
1981.
Hey, do you remember that scene in the Beyond where the spiders ate that person's
All three
What?
really good movies.
Oh, they were movies. I thought they were games. I don't know.
No, they're movies.
I wasn't born in 81.
What's the matter with you? All right.
Were you born in 81?
No, yes. No.
He
no.
had been,
Had been
born
born?
in 81.
That wasn't my question.
By
81 looks like it's from that year. It's not. It's an older game. This has dropped a bit. This is man, it is over 20 years old. This is Escape from Aliens in Outer Space. Have either one of you ever played this?
That is a striking cover.
Oh,
What
it's,
is-
oh,
Is that
this
like a-
game.
is that like a reprint?
You would love. It is a reprint. Yeah, the earlier one did not look that nice. Wait till you see the board inside. It's still the same. That's the board. Okay, so the whole thing is this.
Oh, I could see your heart breaking in real time. You're just like,
Okay, this game looks terrible, but it plays so good. This game is the one game that gives me actual tension. I mean, there's moments where you have to go, because you're humans and you're aliens, right? You don't know who is who. They get a hidden roll, and you're starting to all go to the escape pods. And everyone's and you can make noise. You can say like noise and sector, and you say a sector. But depending on the card you get, you can either lie or tell the truth. So people are hearing people make noise around the ship. And the humans are just trying to get away. The aliens are trying to kill the humans. And every time, we play this so much. Dice Tower East, usually end of the night before the last day, we all play 10 people, sit around, and you just do Escape from Aliens in Outer Space. It's so good, so tense. The anxiety it gives you is so real. It's so
People lie.
fun. You do.
Why do you play with liars?
Well, they have to lie. It's not a lie if it's in a game.
No, you literally said they can lie.
They can lie. Well, you can lie if the card tells you can lie. So it's either green
Well,
or
my
red.
mama said.
Tells you. So it's.
I think that all of the banknotes in the United States say you may steal this if your name is Chris.
There you go.
This is true.
I have a card that said so.
All right, but this one is
Still a bad
great.
person.
Even if you don't, it won't pull you for the art. Try this game, you'll be hooked. And this is the one game people walk away and they're like, I gotta buy this game because it's that fun. It's just good. Yeah. And bigger player count. There's different maps so you can flip. There's also different abilities. Like certain abilities will allow you to kind of jump. Well, you can kill the alien before it kills you, and it's really good. I enjoy this game a lot.
But what did you kill them? They weren't an alien.
Happens a lot
Then you're
more
a
than
bad
you think it
person.
does, and it's just like
Are
that
you a
is
bad
awkward.
person or are you a bad? I mean,
If you're a
you thought
soldier,
they
you
lied?
kill someone, and you're like, I was human, moron. And it's like, we should have said that. I can't say
No,
it.
I
Somebody's
did
an alien.
say it. I
And
thought
then-
you were lying because you're all liars. And that's what I don't know. I don't get it.
It's so good.
I don't
Yeah,
get
so
it.
I love this one.
If I have something to say, just say it.
Escape from Aliens in Outer Space.
My number 81, I think, is new to the list. Let's see. It is not new to the list. Okay. I thought it was newer than this. My number 81 is similar, gives me similar feels of Thunder Road Vendetta, but I think has more game behind it. It's not
Camel
as swingy. No. No, it's heat pedal to the metal.
Okay.
In the same,
okay.
they're both kind of racing games, and this one you have a circular track, you're trying to get around the track, but you're also managing your car, and that's what I love, is it feels like you have so much control in this game, whereas the Thunder Road Vendetta is like, ha, and I shoot you with a helicopter, and then I, ramp over you. It's just chaotic fun. This one feels that tension of it, where it feels chaotic as you kind of push your luck with the cards. Which one am I going to play? Plus, there's just some swing to the way how far you're going to go, and you can get stuck in a corner if you don't play it right, something like that. But you feel like you have that control, and I love that as you're shifting up and you're shifting down and going through the different gears, trying to just hit these corners just right to ahead. I love how you've not lost the game till the game is over.
It's surprisingly true.
It is crazy. I have been half a lap behind. It felt like I was 4 rounds behind, and then caught up. I, didn't win, but I was like right there with them at the end. I was like, oh my gosh, I got second. I thought I was completely out. Like, it is not over till it's over. And once the first time you play and you don't realize that, it's kind of like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer. And then you're like, oh, I was right there. Okay, let's play it again. Hold on, now I got it. And then every time after that you play, you're just so invested because it doesn't matter that I'm half a lap behind. I still have a chance. I just have to better manage my car here. And you get in it and you manage it better and you put your head in the game and you just fly through the track. It's so satisfying.
That's the thing. The catch-up mechanic on this is so good.
So
I remember
good.
we played this live for the first time, and I was playing with Z, and he's way back there. And I remember going, You know it's a race, see, right? and then later, he just blew past me, and of course he goes, you know it's a race, right? I was like, yeah, well played. Yeah. But it's just that catch up, because the corners, you gotta slow down.
Gotta slow down, and if you don't, you just get so stuck, you know. And it's like you want to race forward, but you don't, and it just gets grindy, and this one really sings to me. And a racing game that's a racing game that doesn't feel like a racing game. You know, but still has the tension of a racing game.
Here's the 8 steps of your turn. You're like, this is going to be a slog.
Right, but it's not.
Yes.
It just has so many great moments to it as well. And highs and lows for everybody through it. You are really invested the whole time in this game. So my number 81 is Heat. I'm super excited about the new maps that are coming out as well.
Oh, Heavy Rain.
Yeah, gonna be exciting.
All right, my number 81 is one of the most played solo roll and write, flip and write games on my list, and that is Next Station London. This game is adorable. It's so much fun. You flip over a card, and then you draw from whatever circle one of your subway lines is at to a triangle. The card says triangle, draw to a triangle. But then, as you're drawing more on the map, you're kind of closing off opportunities for your other routes, because you will, by the end of the game, have drawn all 4 of those colors on there. But then the game rewards you so much for making junctions, where your pink line and your blue line meet up together. Like so many games that have this spatial kind of element, are like, don't crash into each other. But this one, because of the subway theme, is like, you get bonus points if you connect with each other. Like, yes, finally!
Yeah, rewards that instead.
Exactly. There's a follow-up to this one, Next Station Tokyo, which I think is also phenomenal. But for me, London is the one I've played countless times. I play the solo a lot. And it gives you good, score to kind of play against. And I'm just playing against the highest score. Anything less than that to me is a loss.
Yeah.
And I like that it puts that score there. If you play with the extra abilities, the score is bumped up by 10 points. And so you're like, all right, I have something to aim for. I love this one in person, online, solo, against other people. I'll just play the mess out of this game.
That's cool. That's good.
And it plays how many? Just solo?
4 people.
Does it play 4? Okay.
Yep. No, it's and it's great. And also, it's one of those, you end the game and you're like, I have a map. Like, I made a map by the end of it.
Yeah.
And I love that satisfying feeling.
I do like that at the end where you're like, I made that.
Yeah, right. That is satisfying. Right. Yeah.
And it might look better than the Oathsworn doodle you have on the fridge.
Still on the fridge, by the way.
It is on the fridge.
It's still on
It
the
is on the fridge, yeah. We keep it to make you feel good.
Alrighty, folks, that will do it for our 90 through 81. That's the last live thing this week.
Yep.
But fear not, the top 100s will continue. Next week, there's also going to be other live things as well, so you're going to have plenty to watch, videos through the weekend and everything. So, anything else? You want to push one last time if you haven't signed up and registered for Dice Tower East?
Yep. These tickets are on sale. We're definitely under 200 tickets now, so
it's going to sell out.
It is going to sell out. If you're going to Disney this summer, why not come play some board games with us too?
Exactly.
So
Play more fun.
Play Joey's made-up rules to escape the dark sector at 1 in the morning, right?
I incorporate fire in the library.
Till next time, my name is Chris Yee.
I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Camilla.
Have fun gaming.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.